Welcome back, everybody, to episode 23 of the Washed Up Sports Podcast. We are your Washed Up Sports hosts,
Patrick Quinn,
Louis Ortiz,
and I'm Bobby Hanscom. Hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend. After some time off, today is Monday, July 8th, as we're recording. So here's what we'll be talking about on today's show. Some more NBA offseason trades and free agencies.
An update on the Copa America and European Championships of 2024 that are upcoming the middle of the week.
We'll also go over some random news in the sports world from last week.
And we'll finish up the show with Washed Up Wagers, where I will be doing a punishment for last month. We'll recap our picks for the start of July, and we'll make our picks for this week's slate. All right, so let's start everything off. So NBA offseason moves. Possibly the biggest news of the weekend, DeMar DeRozan going to the Sacramento Kings from the Chicago Bulls. He signed a 3-year, $74 million extension. The Kings are sending Harrison Barnes to San Antonio and Chris Duarte 2 second-round picks and cash to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls have gotten fleeced this offseason.
They're kind of resetting themselves. They got rid of Caruso,
But they didn't get shit back, is what I'm saying.
but they wanted to get rid of those big contracts.
They did
Yeah.
open
You
up
know,
a lot of space.
They gave themselves space to improve themselves, and they got younger as well. DeMar DeRozan was just sitting there doing nothing to improve the team.
Beg to differ.
You think DeMar?
We'll talk about this later.
You think DeMar DeRozan can be the best player on a championship team?
No, but
So then get rid of him.
I understand.
First of all, the Bulls are nowhere near a championship.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you have
They've been
DeMar,
500
you
for
have
a
DeMar
year.
DeRozan, you're paying him that contract. If he's not going to do anything for you, get him out.
I feel like it's more Levine than DeRozan, but
Levine, I promise you, Levine will also be gone.
I know. No, I know.
Lonzo will stay put though.
Well, nobody wants him. He can't even get on the court.
He
No.
just signed the extension, if you guys remember.
I do remember that.
he
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Ever since Stephen A. called him out and he was doing those one-legged lunges on the chair,
Haven't seen him on
he
the court
hasn't
since.
been on the court since.
The 6-time All-Star DeRozan turns 35 in August and has averaged 24 points, 4 boards, and 5 assists last season. Now LeBron James has rejoined the Los Angeles Lakers, right below the max.
Good for him, dude. He really took that big.
Wait.
That's huge.
They
man.
drafted his son, drafted his podcast host, and then he decided to stay with the Lakers?
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Who
Imagine
would
he
have
left.
thought?
Fuck you, Bronny. I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, so that actually helps the Lakers avoid the salary cap restrictions, so they can possibly build a better team. The deal will allow LeBron to play in his 22nd and 23rd seasons, surpassing Vince Carter for his 22-year career for the longest career in NBA history. He turns 40 in December and will be the first father to play with his son, Bronny, on the same team in NBA history. I feel like I know this is way off topic, but I wish Bronny was just called LeBron James Jr.
I heard that earlier today.
Yeah,
too.
like that. I forgot about that.
It's on the back of his jersey as James Jr.
Really?
Because you know the Twitter thing I sent you guys with all the jersey numbers?
Yeah.
The one for Bronny was 9, and it says James Jr. So I was like, wait a minute. Like, that's
But then he goes by, but it's
Yeah.
Bronny.
Yeah, and LeBron doesn't have James Sr. on his, you know what I mean? It's
That the whole thing is weird, and it was like, I think ESPN had like a Twitter thing where they posted like 4 straight clips of Bronny James in his summer league debut.
I literally swiped my phone down. That's tough. LeBron reacting to Bronny's first bucket. Bronny steps back for a 2-point shot, and like Bronny grabs a rebound. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's so bad. Bro.
I also saw something on Twitter today too. They had where it said 21 minutes.
Yes,
and
they
made
thought it looked like
was
he had
showed like
two-
he
he
dropped
had
22.
21
And
points.
then it said 2 assists, 2 rebounds to make it look like he shot 2 for 2 from the field.
Yeah, it was so bad. It's
Yeah.
so bad.
great.
The gaslighting they're doing
Yeah.
for this fucking guy, bro, is
It's insane.
unbelievable. But that's always been
Yeah.
ESPN. ESPN has been fucking slobbing on LeBron's knob since he came in the
eons.
fucking league, dude.
So speaking of Bronny, he signed a 4-year deal worth $7.9 million, which is so stupid compared to what second-round picks normally make.
Second round picks are two-way players making $400,000 to $500,000 a year, and then the majority of their time they'll be in the fucking G League.
I'm pretty sure the past like 3 years in the draft, like the 55th pick, if you saw their contracts, they're all under like $1 million.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 year, like $750,000. Like, where did all this?
Where does he even play? You got Bronny, like you got D'Lo, who's probably going to be your one if he resigns.
Well, he's not going to start.
No, but what I'm saying is, then you got Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect. Where is he going? He's too small to be a fucking 3.
No, he'd probably try and groom him as a backup point guard.
My question
He's
is,
6'1".
will he ever see the G League court, or will he just ride the bench?
No,
I think he just ride the bench.
He's not on a 2-year contract. He's got
a two-way
roster. He's not on a
He's
two-way.
automatically on the 12-man roster.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it too. It was Dalton. It was Connect like warming up before their first game. He was actually going through drills, and then Bronny in his sweatpants just on the bench, just like listening to music.
Well,
Dalton Connect's just getting
and
that work.
the best part was after fucking Bronny's first game where he absolutely shit himself. Oh, he's out for what? Like left fucking pussy lip soreness or something like that, dude. Dude, it was unreal. He's like, we're holding Bronny James out because he has soreness in some muscle.
Yeah,
Dude played a stinker, and then immediately got hurt.
Yeah,
and then is playing on Wednesday.
Sounds like Luka.
All right, let's take a roll here.
Donovan Mitchell is returning to the Cavs on a 3-year, $150.3 million deal. Player option for 2027 and 2028 season. Mitchell has belief that the Cavs can build into a championship contending team.
No.
If they sign LeBron, maybe.
I mean, hey, if I'm getting $153 million for 3 years, I'll tell you anything you want to fucking hear, honestly.
That's on God.
27-year-old has been an all-star in 5 straight seasons. He averaged 26.6 points per game last year. Miles Bridges has re-signed with the Charlotte Hornets on a 3-year, $75 million deal. The 26-year-old was rumored to be moving and going to the Clippers. That didn't happen. He averaged 21.7 boards and 3 assists last year after missing all of the 2022-2023 season for the
because he got a whore pregnant.
Yeah.
And hit her.
And hit her.
And he served a 10-game suspension at the start of this season.
So just a reminder, if you guys know how to ball and you guys can get a bucket and you beat your girlfriend, just serve the suspension. You'll be making $75 million the next year.
Oh, yeah.
But don't get
God forbid you put $5 in on your team to score, though.
Yeah.
Celtics basically. Buddy Hield is heading to the Golden State Warriors on a sign-and trade. He signed a guaranteed $21 million deal. Contract will be for 2 years. 76ers got a 2031 second-round pick that the Warriors got from the Mavs in the Klay Thompson deal.
Yeah.
The Warriors now have the top 2 3-point shooters from the past 5 seasons with Buddy Hield and Steph Curry. Hield is a career 40% 3-point shooter. He played 85 games last season for the Indiana Pacers and the 76ers, where he averaged 12 points.
Go donkey.
I don't hate that move, actually.
No, I don't either. Caleb Martin, who we all fucking despise, is joining the Philadelphia 76ers on a 4-year, $32 million deal. Previously turned down a 5-year, $65 million deal to return to Miami, which makes no fucking sense.
This dude was like, nah, I'm good. Next year, stinker. We'll never see that type of money ever again.
He averaged 14 points per game on 50% shooting and 44% shooting from 3. Oh, just against the Celtics in the past 2 years.
I mean, good for him.
It just shows how the Heat are also falling off a cliff as well. I'm sure they probably wanted to re-sign him, but he looked at it. Jimmy's probably going to go somewhere in a sign and trade, and then Tyler Hero's your future. Terry Rozier can't stay healthy. Bam Adebayo, I still don't think is a number 1 on a team. And then you got Jaime Jaquez.
You see how happy Bam looked when he was at the Team
USA. He's like,
practice.
Players I can actually play with right now.
And then he's going to go back to Miami.
Yeah.
Just all sad.
Yeah.
Good beaches, though. Good beaches. Some other notable signings in the NBA here. Derrick Jones Jr. joining the Los Angeles Clippers on a 3-year, $30 million deal. 66 starts last season for the Dallas Mavericks, averaged a career-high 8.6 points per game, and shot 34.3% from 3. The 27-year-old helped lead the Mavericks to an NBA Finals appearance. I think this year was his kind of 3-point shooting year.
Yeah, he's been mostly a dunker.
Wasn't he on the Heat for a little while too? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been a dunker because I think he was in the slam
He's a-
dunk contest
right.
for a
He's a
while.
champion. Slam dunk contest champion.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free agent forward Kyle Anderson agreed on a 3-year, $27 million deal.
Slow-mo.
The slow-mo Kyle signed and traded with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who received a future second-round pick swap and cash considerations. 30-year-old spent the last 2 seasons in Minnesota, averaging 6.4 points per game, 4.2 assists per game, and 3.5 rebounds last season.
So 6 points a game, 4 rebounds a game is getting him how much?
It's making him $9 million a year.
But the money in the NBA is absurd.
Like, if you gave me a tryout, I could put those numbers up.
I could give you 10 boards a game without a doubt.
I
I'd
will-
give you a couple assists.
I may break my ankle and tear my ACL, but I
But
will do that as well.
it's all guaranteed
Hey,
contracts.
I'll
so I don't
beat
give
my
a
girlfriend up. I don't care. Give me the money.
He doesn't actually have a girlfriend right now, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't take him literally. Don't cancel us.
Yeah, don't cancel us.
But if you
Entering-
did, for that money, you might.
Yeah. He's also entering his 11th NBA season on his 4th team. The Orlando Magic have been getting busy this offseason with a number of signings. Magic are giving Franz Wagner a 5-year, $224 million rookie max extension. He is not worth that
No.
at all.
Well, you just
No.
talked about it. You think Kyle Anderson's worth $9 million a year?
Right.
It's the money is insane.
The crazy thing is the contract could be worth up to $269.
With incentives and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Like, that's
all NBA.
like,
Like,
it's
Sure.
insane. He averaged 19.7 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists last season. He led the Magic to the first playoffs since 2020 and best record since 2010-2011. He joined Shaq, Tracy McGrady, and Dwight Howard as the only Magic players with over 4,000 points before his 23rd birthday. Oh, that's a cool stat. I did not know that.
if you think about it, they have to do the same with Paulo in a couple of years.
Right.
But Paulo's worth it, though.
Apollo's definitely
But
worth
that's
that.
like what the Celtics did with Tatum and Brown, with both having the max. Except
Yeah.
for the Magic, it's Franz.
Franz Wagner and Paulo.
Imagine
Who
that.
are probably like the 12th best duo.
I think Paulo's going to be real good,
I
though,
do too.
but I don't think Franz is worth that money.
No, I don't
He was a number 8th pick in 2021 NBA draft. He had 7 30-point games last season. Magic and Jonathan Isaac also agreed on a 5-year, $84 million
Which is crazy.
contract extension.
Bro hasn't hit the court in
Where the hell
2
is all
years.
this money, man?
Bro,
Averaged, let me tell you, 6.8 points per game, 4.5 boards, and 1.2 blocks per game off the bench for the Magic last season.
and he's getting $85 million. Oh my
Former
God.
sixth pick in the 2017 NBA draft. He had injury issues over the past few seasons, but played in 58 games last season.
Wow, 58.
Yeah, so let's just pay him fucking $85 million, right?
That's crazy, man.
Magic also agreed to a 2-year, $22 million deal to bring back center Mo Wagner.
His brother's joining Franz.
27-year-old averaged 10.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game in 80 games last season while shooting 60% from the floor. See? Like,
So you're telling me that Jonathan Isaac, who can't stay healthy, who averaged under 10 points, is getting $17 million a year. But a dude who has, what'd you say, 10 points?
10
10
points
and 4 or 11 and 4, dude, and
and played 80 games.
he's going to get 11.
It just, I don't know.
It's the age. It's got to be the age.
We'll stay on with the Orlando Magic, though, as
They are the same.
they're re-signing guard Gary Harris on a 2-year, $15 million contract. Will be his 5th season in Orlando for the 29-year-old and his 11th overall in the NBA. Originally traded to the Magic from the Nuggets for Aaron Gordon and has averaged nearly 40% from 3 on 4.4 threes per game over the past 3 seasons. More Magic news. They'll also be bringing back big man Goga Bitadze on a 3-year, $25 million deal. Orlando will also let go of Markelle Fultz, Chuma Okeke to clear some cap space for all these moves that they've done.
Imagine you said 3, what was it, probably like 5 years ago now? We're going to draft Markelle Fultz as the number 1 overall pick.
Well, Fultz got drafted by Philly.
And
Started
then,
Ben Simmons.
and then traded, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it was. But
Yeah.
that, yeah.
But still. Now he's out of the league.
I would like to say that Goga only played 15 minutes and averaged 5 and 5 last year.
And he's getting like $8 million a year. About.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well,
If I was Bobby, dude,
let's
I would be horny about the Orlando Magic next season.
Oh yeah, to finish 5th in the East and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Hey, brought in KCP. He wins where he goes.
He does. Kind of not the big name signings we'll talk about real quick. James Wiseman, who we all thought was going to be an unbelievable player coming out of Memphis under Penny Hardaway for a while, has signed a 2-year deal with the Indiana Pacers.
I do like that, though.
The Milwaukee Bucks have signed veteran Tarion Prince on a 1-year veteran minimum. Center Mo Bamba is heading to the Los Angeles Clippers on a 1-year veteran minimum. Our beloved Boston Celtics have decided to re-sign Xavier Tillman Sr., the 25-year-old who looks like he's 46. That is on a 2-year deal. The Detroit Pistons have signed Malik Beasley on a 1-year deal worth over $6 million. Pistons have also re-signed Simeon Fettuccio on a 2-year Fontecchio on a 2-year $16 million deal.
He is Italian, though.
Najee Marshall has agreed on a 3-year $27 million deal with
I would
Dallas.
have said exactly what you said, for being honest.
The Mavericks brought in Quentin Grimes in a trade with the Pistons for Tim Hardaway Jr. last week. Tough business for Tim Hardaway Jr. You go to the finals 1 year, and now you're on the fucking Pistons the next.
X Factor. Hey, watch out, Pistons.
Yeah. Free agent center Jalen Smith has agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. Dario Saric has also agreed to a 2-year deal, only $10.6 million with the Denver Nuggets. Big man Drew Eubanks is heading to the Utah Jazz on a 2-year deal worth $10 million. Phoenix replaces Eubanks with Mason Plumlee, who joins the Suns on a 1-year deal. The Suns also re-signed Damian Lee on a 1-year deal. Missed all of last season, though. The Sacramento Kings have signed Jordan McLaughlin on a 1-year deal.
Bobby's doppelganger.
The Miami Heat have signed veteran Alec Burks to a 1-year deal and are also bringing back Haywood Highsmith on a 2-year, $11 million contract.
PJ Dozier?
That is for you.
I totally forgot about him.
Free agent PJ Dozier has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Dozier spent last season in Serbia, where he averaged 9 points in the EuroLeague. The fucking Australian shooter with the left, Joe Ingles, is also joining the Timberwolves on a 1-year deal worth $3.3 million.
I like that too.
And the New Orleans Pelicans have signed Daniel Tice on a 1-year deal. Did you guys talk about last episode? Tobias Harris joining the Pistons.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about all
and
the
I said how thank God that he did not get a max contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, as we just said, it's been a very busy time in the NBA over the past couple of weeks. So with all the trades and free agency signings, what's the best team? Like, who made the best moves, or who had the biggest signing, or who is the player that you liked the most?
For me, like, it wasn't mentioned in this list, but it was what the Dallas Mavericks did in bringing in Klay Thompson into that team. If you told me what was the biggest struggle for the Mavericks in the finals was the role players. Mm-hmm. If your name wasn't Kyrie or Luka, nobody else did anything. And if you could have a proven champion like Klay Thompson, a 40 to 45% three-point shooter who doesn't need the ball, can find open spots and just knock down threes, it's exactly what they wanted. And he can even come off the bench if they want, or they can run Kyrie, Klay, Luka, kind of a 3-man wagon right there. So I think what they did, especially with Klay getting interest from going possibly to the Lakers or going possibly back to Golden State, for the Mavericks to kind of be like, we're going to steal him. So I think it works out perfect for them.
So the Mavericks lost Derek Jones,
And then gained Klay.
Josh Green, and
Tim
Hardaway, and gained Klay Thompson.
Oh, Josh Green left too? Where did he go?
He was in Klay Thompson.
Oh, so he's on Golden State now?
He's on Charlotte, I believe. It was a 3-team.
Oh, okay.
Also, do you guys know that the NBA veteran minimum varies on how long you've been in the league?
Really?
Yeah, like someone's vet minimum can be like $5 million.
Yeah.
But if you're in, what does the veteran start at? Like, how many years do you have to be in the league?
I think at least 5.
Like 3 or 4, I think.
Okay.
I think it is 3 or 4.
around there.
because
that's like $1 million and goes up to like $4 million.
Yeah, so fucking Udonis Haslam for the last end of his career was just racketing the veteran minimum.
Go ahead. Well,
I'd agree with you on the Clay moving to Dallas. I kind of not really that big of a name, but I kind of like what the Golden State Warriors did to replace Clay. I really like the Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
replacing Klay Thompson. I feel like Buddy Hield over like the past 3 years, he hasn't really gotten that. Like the green lights always shoot, and I feel like Golden State is a perfect place for him to get that mojo back.
Also signed DeAnthony Melton and Kyle Anderson.
Yep.
I mean, if you're Buddy Hield, you're literally just filling in that role of what Klay Thompson was.
Right.
Doesn't need the ball a lot. If he's open, he's going to shoot it.
But now he's like a solid number 2, number 3 option.
That's the thing. He shoots at a high rate, makes at a high rate. So it's like you let Steph do what Steph wants to do, and then literally the perfect sidekick that comes into that as well.
Yeah. I figured you guys were going to say Paul George, so I didn't write Paul George, but obviously Paul George. But my honestly favorite, who's been one of my favorites for a long time, as well as Paul George, but DeMar DeRozan, I loved him going to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch. He still has his bounce, catching lobs, dude, from De'Aaron Fox. That'd be nice.
Probably the best mid-range shooter in the league.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I don't know about that. I think MJ. I think
dude.
Kobe or
Brandon
MJ.
Bass, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Brandon Bass was butter anywhere.
Dirk
mid-range, man.
Nowitzki mid-range too, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, DeMar, De'Aaron, Sabonis, Keegan Murray shooting from 3,
Yeah.
and Malik Monk shooting from 3.
Yeah, they'll be a good team. And they're young besides DeMar. Yeah.
And the NBA next year is going to look a lot different, but minus one team who signed them all back, minus one person, the Celtics, obviously, returning pretty much their full roster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Orlando Magic look like they just re-signed him.
Is the only one that left? The only one that left was O'Shea, right?
Yeah,
He hasn't even left.
He hasn't.
Still-
He just
he's
declined his player option, but he can always come back. But coming off a championship, now who has a target on their backs? Even though, like, I feel like in Boston, whoever plays Boston, they always have a target. But now let's get more of that incentive. We have more of a target since winning the championship, trying to go back to back. I'm going to ask you guys, out of all these moves now, like, who do you think gives us like the biggest threat for next season, or who will give us more problems?
I have two, both in the Western Conference. I have Minnesota, obviously. I think the
Minnesota,
Oklahoma, Arkansas, Minnesota.
Sign and trade that they did with San Antonio to bring in that young point guard out of Kentucky.
Yep.
It's going to be huge. He can learn under Mike Conley, which I think is very, very big.
Rob Dylan,
Yeah.
He's a
Anthony
bucket.
Edwards, obviously, year older, your experience is playing with Team USA this summer. We'll learn from all those guys as well. Karl Anthony Towns still being there, Rudy Gobert still being there, I think is Naz Reid still being there is very, very big for them. And then the other one is the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? They got rid of Josh Giddey. They got a defensive juggernaut in Alex Caruso, who you could argue could be Defensive Player of the Year any year with Derek White or with a Rudy Gobert or anybody like that. And then the fact that you also now get the rim protector in Harkenstein if he can stay healthy. And then you have the young guns of Chet Holmgren, Shea Alexander, and Jalen Williams. I think those two teams with the youth that they have, and now they have that experience of playing in the postseason and then also bringing in key pieces, those two are going to be very, very interesting battles in the West. And those are my two biggest threats to the Boston Celtics to repeat.
And the Thunder are going to have 2 7-footers in their starting lineup with
Chet and Hartenstein.
Yeah, what's starting?
Yeah. I think Chet will be the 4 and
Yeah.
Hartenstein will be the 5. Mine are in the East. I have 2 as well. I love what you said. I do agree with you. But I think the Sixers with bringing in PG, that's going to be a huge matchup for us. And I do like what the Knicks did with bringing in Mikal Bridges. Even though they gave up a ton, they didn't really give up a lot of players. And Mikal Bridges is nasty.
So the Sixers have Maxey, Paul George, Embiid, and they also brought in Eric Gordon, the other big man, veteran.
Well, they have Caleb Martin as
Andre
well.
Drummond.
Andre
Drummond.
And they have their starting lineup looks like it's going to be Maxey, PG, Martin, Oubre, and Embiid is what they're.
Oubre, I forgot about too.
That's what their starting lineup is. But it's always. I think the Sixers are going to be. They always have that potential. It's just
They got to be healthy.
how healthy will now be a 35-year-old Paul George, and then also how healthy will a Joel Embiid who didn't meet the quota to even play, consider himself for the MVP or any end-of-the-year awards, and then was also banged up in the postseason. And now,
That's a fucking perk, dude.
and but also not even that. Now he's going to play with Team USA, so it's like he doesn't get that rest that you would want if he's your star player for the Sixers, and then he's supposed to come into the next season.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the Knicks. As long as you have Thibodeau as your coach, he's been proven to run those players into the ground.
Yeah, Mikhail's never missed a game ever.
But you understand what I'm saying. You lose Hartenstein. Mitchell Robinson cannot stay healthy, it seems like. Julius Randle couldn't stay healthy last year. And then it's pretty much, okay, DiVincenzo, Bridges, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson go win us a championship. I don't think they can do that.
Yeah.
So, two things. One, Joel Embiid will be starting on opening night, and he'll be setting out games 2 and 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's-
Pretty much.
Two, are the Knicks starting Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, Bridges, and Julius Randle?
No,
He's
they got to go.
stupid
I
to
think they're
do
going to
that.
go Brunson, either DiVincenzo or Hart, and then it's going to be Bridges, Randall, and then they're either going to have to get a 5 or hope Robinson can play.
And they also brought back OG Anunoby on that fat line.
That is
about
true.
So is he going to start, or is he going
Oh,
to?
he's definitely.
He would start.
I feel
I
like
don't
Dante will come off the
think. I don't
bench.
think. I don't
I
think
think
you can
Dante
do
would
that.
come off the
You're going to
bench,
have
too.
Randall play the 5.
No,
You can't have
Yeah.
Randall play the
But
5.
it could be a small ball, like closing line.
Yeah.
I agree. I was watching something the other day, and it was like, as much as I hate Gilbert Arenas, like I think he's the absolute stupidest fucking pundit on the face of the earth, but whatever. He was talking about, like, depending on the situations in the game, if you need to score, you're going to go, like, Brunson, Hart, DiVincenzo, Bridges, Randall. And then if you're, like, up and you need to defend, you're going to go Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Randall,
Anunoby.
Mitchell, or Anunoby before Hart. So, like,
See,
they have some flexibility in their lineup.
I think you could potentially do a lineup because Hart has proven himself as a rebounder.
Yes.
But
100%.
then, but
You
put
could sneak him in the 4th.
You could put
Anunoby and Randall in a front
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
They could, I think,
Yeah.
hold their own.
You could do like Anunoby as the 3, Bridges as the 4, Randall as the 5, and then you have like Brunson and Hart as your 2 guards.
I mean, I don't really like. I feel like the only people that or the only teams that I see kind of giving the Celtics something. I feel like it's always the Sixers. Sixers are always like we always have that rivalry. And now they just got Paul George, which also is huge for them. But I feel like if anything, it'd be the Sixers. And then I'm also gonna say it, the Orlando Magic, just because they always give us a fucking hard time in the regular season.
I will say something that we didn't. A team that we didn't say who didn't do anything this year did it all last year. Milwaukee,
No.
bro. Dame, Giannis, and Middleton, bro. They weren't healthy
Yeah.
last year.
But you can say that about any team.
Exactly.
But
But they're Giannis is one of the best players in the league.
click. They didn't click at all.
They lost Malik Beasley. Jay Crowder's a free agent. They brought in Torian Prince, but
It's like they did not. If you watch that team, it wasn't like they clicked off each other. It was either Dame's going to have a game or
Dame
Giannis
30
is going to
points
have a
or
game.
Giannis
It
30.
wasn't like they worked together. Like they're both 2 very ball dominant players where Dame needs to bring the ball up the court or Giannis needs to bring the ball up the court. They don't click together. It seems like they were 35 and 10, and they fired their head coach and brought in Doc Rivers. Like you think Doc Rivers doesn't know what the fuck he's doing right now? Then you bring in what? Darvin Ham as the assistant coach. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing in Los Angeles either. He'd still have a job. So it's like,
I have one, and then we got to move it on. A sleeper that's also in the West. New Orleans Pelicans.
the Pelicans.
Pelican,
Yeah.
DeJounte, CJ now doesn't have to bring the ball up.
Yeah.
Zion, BI. They got Tice as their center,
Yeah.
who's a solid
I did
veteran.
see that,
They
yeah.
lost Valanciunas.
Yeah.
Steven Adams.
No, he's on
Steven
Memphis.
Adams, They have
He's
Trey
on
Murphy
Houston.
coming off the
Yeah.
bench, 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
Jose
Do they still
Alvarado.
Alvarado? Yeah.
So
Also,
that's
I think the Houston Rockets could be good in a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be this year,
Reed Shepard.
but not
Sengun.
even that. Like I honestly
Freeze
think
him.
Udoka is a really good
sorry.
coach.
Yeah, he
Ime,
is.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were on the cusp of like that 9-10 playoff
Keep
spot.
that dick in your pants, dude. You get the 8.
I agree.
What about the Spurs?
Dude,
Yeah.
CP3
Did you see the
Yeah.
fucking the clip where it was like the Spurs media team?
Oh yeah.
And it was literally
It was
CP
him in the
and it's still in his Warriors jersey, and it was
This-
like when you make a trade over July 4th weekend and nobody's in the office or something like that.
He called it under PTO.
All right, so we were talking about all the moves, and obviously the two biggest ones was Paul George going from the Clippers to the Philadelphia 76ers, and then DeMar DeRozan going from the Chicago Bulls to the Sacramento Kings. I have one question for both of you. It's kind of a two-part question. One, is Paul George overpaid? And two, do you think DeMar DeRozan is underpaid?
Both.
So I'll just read the contracts for you right now. DeMar DeRozan just got a 3-year, $74 million deal with the Kings, and Paul George just signed a 4-year, $212 million deal. DeMar DeRozan averaged 24 points a game, 4 boards, and 5 assists last season with the Chicago Bulls. Paul George averaged 22.6 points a game, 5 boards, and 3.5 assists per game. I'll start with you, Lewis. What do you think?
I mean, for me personally, I feel like PG is overpaid.
Overpaid?
I feel like it's just he's very injury prone, and plus he's going into year 17.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really proved himself. His last time making the conference finals was what, in the bubble?
Paul George? No, it was with the Indiana
they blew
Pacers.
a 3-1 lead in the bubble.
Yeah,
actually,
it was with the
Yeah.
Indiana Pacers.
So-
Wasn't it with the Clippers?
I don't think
the Clippers got to 1. That was
One?
the furthest they got. They lost to what did they lose to?
Was it the Lakers? No,
Yeah, 'cause
Lakers
it was-
lost to the Nuggets. Lakers beat the Nuggets one
Yeah.
time.
But
Yeah,
just to go off my point, like Paul George, I like how he just got that. Good for his agent, but
Mhm.
I mean that's too
Yeah,
overpaid.
for a nickname like Playoff P, he has not been.
Where's
playoff.
Paul though?
It was 2020, 2021. They got beat by the Suns.
Oh, the
Oh,
Suns,
yeah,
that's
right.
okay. So that was the bubble then.
So
The year after.
The
Year after
the
the-
Nuggets Lakers were bubble.
Okay.
two conference finals.
that was
appearances.
Lakers.
Heat Lakers.
No,
were
but
bubble.
I'm saying
Oh, okay, yeah.
the
Western
Suns.
Conference.
The Suns lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, and that was when the Bucks won theirs. Yeah.
Bill, what do you think?
I think both, honestly. DeMar's honestly, even though being 35 is still nasty. Like I said earlier, he was my favorite signing.
Mhm.
And I love Paul George. He's literally one of my top 5 favorite players too. But he's overrated. Like, I mean, not overrated, but overpaid. Like, he's
Mhm.
so good defensively, so the numbers don't really show it. But offensively, DeMar's just so much better.
I think with Paul George also it shows like the Sixers are so desperate that they were the only team that was going to offer him that contract.
Yeah.
Like you looked at what the Warriors were going to offer him or what the Clippers were going to offer him, it was nowhere close to what he would like. They were like 2-3 years,
Yeah.
and then they come in with a 4-year 200. If you're Paul George, you can't turn it down. But at the same time, it's like the expectations for the Sixers now have to be the NBA Finals.
He has 2 good years left, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And if you think about it, he's been in the conference finals twice in the past 14 years?
yeah.
12, 14 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And
It'll be
Joel Embiid has seen it 0.
It'll be very interesting. And I mean, the Sixers just re-signed Tyrese Maxey. They've done a lot of good things, but it's just the same thing as like we talked about it. Like Luke Cornett has more NBA Finals appearances than Joel Embiid, so it's just always going to be that the burden on his shoulders about the fact that can he actually get over the hump.
I'll just
Same
say
with
one
Paul
last thing.
George.
I'll say one last thing. I'll credit you, Zach. But
Okay.
like you said, I don't think DeMar DeRozan is $100 million worse than
Yeah.
$140
$140 million
Yeah.
worse than PG.
Yeah.
So that's
And
just something
literally
like that.
like 6 months older.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, boys, let's switch over to some soccer. Let's go to the Copa America right now. A little update. We have reached the semifinals now, the Final Four. In the quarterfinals, Argentina defeated Ecuador in penalties thanks to huge stops by Emiliano Martinez. Dibu! It's just every time he's in penalties, man.
Honest opinion, I played that position my entire life. Is he only good at PKs? I think he's the most overrated goalkeeper in the world.
I wouldn't say overrated.
I would say-
I don't really like him.
I mean, he
wouldn't say
makes stops when it's needed.
overrated.
He's just. You look at it. The World Cup final against France, PK shootout. Then this against what is it? Even Ecuador. Like Argentina should not be in that position against
not his
Ecuador.
fault,
I understand that completely, 100%. But it's just the amount of money he's making now at Aston Villa, looking probably for a big move to a next club. It's just like he's.
And you see him at Aston Villa. He doesn't
blow you away. Well, it's because unless you're playing in quarterfinals or semifinals or tournaments like that, you don't get into those PK shootouts positions.
You could argue that that's worth the money, though. Like
I get it. I understand it. I don't know.
We know one thing's for sure. He bailed out his buddy Leo Messi with the fucking
the Panenka that went right
Panenka
over the bar. Yeah.
Lewis had a heart attack when that
How about
happened.
the Ecuador keeper though, like giving Messi a kiss after?
Oh yeah,
You see him?
I did.
He gave him a hug and a kiss.
Thank you for missing that.
Like consoling him. It's like
Well, that guy can save for the rest of the life.
Yeah.
Leo Messi didn't score on him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Canada defeated Venezuela in penalties as well to make it to the semis in their first ever Copa America under new manager Jesse Marsh.
Read that again, please.
Under new manager
Manager Jesse Marsh, who is a what? American, and we're the U.S. sitting at fucking home, and we still have not fired fucking Greg Berhalter yet.
We'll get to it.
The only quarterfinals game in the Copa America to not go into penalties. Colombia absolutely dominated Panama as expected.
What's the word you like to use?
Ass kicking?
Thrashed? You like thrashed?
I don't know.
Bombarded?
No, just
Pulled their pants down and slapped them with a ruler?
I mean,
5-0?
Yeah.
Put up as Coach LeBurge used to say, put up a 5 spot on him.
5 spot on. James Rodriguez scored a penalty and set up 2 other goals. He has now a goal and 5 assists in the tournament and has received man of the match honors following all 4 of Colombia's matches. Uruguay defeated Brazil in penalties after a 0-0 90 minutes. That was...
What a thrilling game that was. Oh my god. Endrick looked like he's never played soccer before in his life.
Read the thing about
I
him.
know, I will. Brazil's now out with just 1 win in 4 matches. Young phenom Endrick, young phenom, just 17 years old, played the full 90 minutes in the quarterfinal loss to Uruguay and recorded just 1 pass, which was the opening kickoff.
That's good. When I saw that stat,
good for you, Real.
That's what I'm going to be doing on the soccer field tomorrow night.
I hope you do.
When I saw that stat, I was absolutely.
I've never seen something like that.
No, it's crazy. But before we get into our semifinals predictions, let's quickly talk about the historic meltdown the United States of America just had hosting Copa of America. The United States achieved a historic feat, becoming the first team to ever host Copa America and be eliminated in the group stage. Since the tournament started, having a fixed host in a group stage in 1987, no host has ever exited the competition in the group stage. Wow, let's do it, boys!
That's actually like wild to me.
The U.S. Soccer Federation said over the weekend that a decision regarding the future of U.S. men's national team Greg Berhalter will be made sometime during this week. So today is Monday. By the end of the week, hopefully Friday, we're hoping maybe Friday at the latest, Tuesday, Wednesday, we all get the good news that Greg Berhalter is no longer the manager. The next tournament is the U.S. men's national team playing in Paris at the Olympics, but you won't see any of the faces because the Olympics is an under-23 competition for the men's side, and they are only allowed to have 3 players over 23 years old and an 18-man roster. 2 goalkeepers, 16 field players. Some notable names that some of you might know. Walker Zimmerman, who plays in the MLS with Nashville FC. Miles Robinson plays for FC Cincinnati. And Georgie Mihailovic, however you say it.
Georgie Mihailovic.
Plays for the Colorado Rapids. Yeah. However, there was a little bit of controversy in the game where they were eliminated from the Copa America in a 1-0 loss against Uruguay. Uruguay's goal appeared to be offsides, but VAR review, it was unallowed. How the fuck? Also, side note, Copa America has been the biggest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly, the worst officiating.
Not even that. How can a major tournament not have extra time?
No.
Not have extra time.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the worst.
Did you see that after they did the VAR, after allowing the Uruguay goal, they said that they don't have...
They don't have the automated VAR like they do in the Euros.
So they don't have an angle straight down the line.
They have to draw the... It's a human drawn line, which is never going to be straight.
Third most important tournament in the world,
without a doubt,
behind the Euros and the World Cup. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Also in the first half, defender Chris Richard made a tackle that was called a foul. For a foul, and the ref stopped the game, decided to give a yellow card, pulled out the yellow card, but then decided to play advantage, where Uruguay almost scored besides a miraculous over-the-head kick save from Tim Ream.
My question is, if they scored that goal,
Yeah,
It would have counted.
They couldn't have gone
Because
back.
they went to the throw-in, and they just decided that it didn't happen.
Yep.
Captain Christian Pulisic said the referees did things he's never seen before. To push that also, the referee decided to decline a handshake from the United States
I've never
men's
seen
national
anything
team
like that,
captain
right.
at the end of the game.
Have you ever seen anything like that from a referee?
No.
Like, you're not
No.
going to shake a
Yeah.
captain's hand, like, regardless of what happened.
Totally unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
It should definitely be.
Question for some conversation here for you guys, obviously, big soccer followers, big U.S. men's national team's fans. Do we think that the controversy between the way a red card, which I will argue it was 1,000% a red card. He was stupid, should not have done that, was a deserving red card. Do you think the fact that we were down to 10 men for as long as we were against Panama and then losing to Uruguay in the way we did, do you think that saved Greg Berhalter's job going into the 2026 World Cup?
I think that the U.S. Soccer Federation will look to use what you just said,
As an
the
excuse.
red card and the controversial refs, as an excuse to keep Berhalter because they, for some reason, like Berhalter. But short and sweet, get this guy out of here, please.
Yeah.
He's had no previous coaching qualifications to have this job. He coached a second division team in Sweden where he got fired for not being offensive minded enough.
Nope.
Hasn't won a major trophy. And he's been in charge for 4 or 5 years now.
At least, yeah.
What have we won? We won a Nations League
Yeah.
against Mexico. That
Yeah.
was our signature win. We've beaten nobody in the top 25 other than Mexico in his time. And we're wasting all this young talent. They play in the top leagues in Europe. How many times have we heard that?
Yeah.
And he's doing nothing with it. And we, to top it all off, we get embarrassed. Red card or not, it was untimely, and we deserved that. Tim Weah hurt his team, hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
But red card or not, how are you not beating Panama?
Well, and the fact we took the lead against Panama.
Yeah, I think 5 minutes later.
5 minutes later.
took the lead, completely changed the way we played, went super defensive, super passive, allowed Panama to press as much as they want, brought in an extra center back who hasn't played with the U.S. at all during the tournament.
Right.
And it's just like, what are we doing here? It's like almost like the Gareth Southgate conversation with England, but England has so much better players, in my opinion, where they can get away with it.
The other thing I'll mention, too, is before the Uruguay goal that should have been offside, wasn't, Greg Berhalter signaling it's 1-1 to the team on the field in the Panama-Bolivia game because the U.S. could just sit back for the last 20 minutes, hope for the tie.
Get away with a tie.
Who cares about the other game? You guys got to go for a win.
Yeah.
We're relying on Bolivia? Dude,
And the thing that pissed me off the most was we, as the United States of America, want to put ourselves as one of the best soccer producing countries in the world. We have no reason not to be.
300 million people.
And soccer nowadays is so big. We have all this opportunity. We're hosting the fucking tournament.
And the World Cup.
Exactly. This was supposed to be, okay, we don't win the Copa America, that's fine. We lose to Brazil, we lose to Uruguay, we lose to a Colombia, we lose to an Argentina in a semis or a final. We didn't even make it out of the fucking group stage. We lost to fucking Panama and then didn't even look like we were going to sniff a goal against fucking Uruguay. It's just boring soccer.
Awful.
And something, in my opinion, needs to change. The best win we've had under Greg Berhalter was fucking Iran in the World Cup, where Christian Pulisic, luckily, was in the right place at the right time, and we only won 1-0.
Yeah, they can't score goals.
With all the star power we have, there's no excuse where we should not be.
I would like to see a little bit of a shakeup in the lineup.
Mhm.
We've been seeing the same 11, 13 guys come out and play.
Yeah.
I thought that guy Malik Tillman came in at the end of the Uruguay game and looked excellent. Give some other people an opportunity to score.
100%.
All right.
But it's like he has his set squad that he believes in. It's like you need to get people the minutes and the caps to understand and have that kind of flexibility and structure where, okay, somebody's not doing so well. All right, we got somebody to replace them right now. We need that competitiveness.
They're just too comfortable because they know Berhalter won't do it.
They're very complacent in what they do.
Let's bring in somebody else who are actually going to make the right decisions instead of pat on the back, buddy time.
I'm hoping the next time we talk on this podcast, there is a vacancy in the U.S. men's national team.
Fucking A.
Because also, what's his name? The assistant coach who we had.
Oh yeah, BJ Callahan
is now the head coach of Nashville FC. But anyways,
Pat, real quick, let's get your predictions for the semifinals, Copa and Euro, and then the final.
I have
in Copa America first.
Yeah, I'll do Copa America first. I have Argentina playing Colombia in the final. Mm-hmm. I have my golden boot going to Lautaro Martinez, who I feel like has 3 goals now. Three goals right now. And my prediction at the beginning of the year or beginning of the Copa was Colombia. I'm going to stick with Colombia. They've looked the strongest right now.
Colombia beats Argentina.
Colombia beats Argentina in the final. And then going towards my Euro predictions, I had Spain versus England. I'm going to stick with Spain versus England, even though England has not looked the way that they should have. The Slovenia game, they got lucky with the Jude Bellingham bicycle in the 95th minute, scored a beautiful goal. Harry Kane then scored right away, and then won in PKs where you don't see England typically doing. Netherlands does look good, blah, blah, blah. And then France does not excite me right now. France is very boring. They're very static. If you watch that game, you thought Portugal should have won that game if they could have converted those chances. So for me, I have Spain, England in the final, and then I have Spain. So I have Colombia winning the Copa America, and then I have Spain winning the Euros.
Hey, you changed your answer there for the Euros.
No, I always had Spain.
Did you have Spain?
Yeah. It's right here.
Really?
I had France.
Oh.
I got Spain, England, 2-1 in the final.
Oh, I thought I was the only one with
Any
Spain
golden boot or golden ball?
Oh, so golden ball, I think it's already locked up. It's going to Cody Gakpo. He already has, I think, 4 goals.
Well, golden boot is
golden boot goals. Golden ball is best player.
Oh, best player.
Yeah. You didn't say one for Copa either.
Oh, so golden ball, I'll change mine on the Colombia then. I'm just going to go to James Rodriguez. Golden boot will go to Lautaro Martinez. Yeah. And then for the European side, I have
Musiala and 3 each.
I have Fabian Ruiz winning the golden ball for Spain.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Congratulations.
All right, like I said earlier, the Copa America, the semifinals are now set with Argentina and Canada being the first of the 4 to play. Group A rematch on Tuesday, which is going to be tomorrow at 8 p.m., and then Colombia will face Uruguay on Wednesday at 8 p.m. as well. Third place game will be this Saturday, July 13th, while the final is going to be Sunday, July 14th, with both matches setting place for 8 p.m. So, Zach, who do you have coming out of the semis, and then who do you have winning it?
Well, I find myself every time I watch Argentina becoming more and more of an op to Argentina. I don't like how they play. I don't like how they carry themselves. I don't like what they get away with on the field, frankly. They come out of the halftime locker room 10 minutes after every freaking halftime is supposed to be over. I don't like them. And I think they're overrated.
World Cup champions, but they're overrated.
And I think they're overrated right now. And I think nobody's going to talk about, to play devil's advocate for you, Lionel Messi hasn't scored in this tournament. But everybody's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, how he hasn't scored in the Euros. So 6 in one, half dozen in the other, but we're only going to talk about one guy. It's fine. We'll see if Argentina will win this. I don't think they will. I'm going to have Canada moving on to the final. I think Canada played a really good game against Argentina in that first game we watched upstairs in Copa America. Canada had a dozen chances that they should have scored, and Argentina scored too late. But I think Canada will advance to the final in an upset. I'm just an Argentina op. I admit it. On the other side, I think Colombia is just too good right now. I mean, they're scoring goals. They're not allowing goals. The last goal they did allow was a freaking top corner free kick that was literally the most perfect shot.
It had to have been perfect.
So how many? I don't think they've given up any other goals in this tournament, have they?
They gave up one to I believe Costa Rica.
Oh
no, Paraguay.
Oh, 2-1.
Yeah.
So they've only allowed 2 goals in 4 games. I just think they're too strong. Uruguay does look good, but I think Colombia's got too much firepower. So I think it'll be Canada-Colombia, and I will change my pick now that the U.S. are out. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say Colombia's going to win it. I think it'll be probably a 3-1 game. I think James is going to win the Golden Ball because he's been the best player on the best team in this tournament. I think Golden Boot, that's interesting because I don't know exactly the leaderboard right now.
All I know is that Lautaro Martinez has 3 goals in, I believe, 3 matches that he's played for Colombia. Our leading scorer only is Munoz, our right back, with 2. Because Colombia actually, I think it was when we won 5-0. It was 5 different goal scorers. So
I mean, I guess I won't pick a Golden Boot if it's obvious. We can just stick with the Golden Ball.
Right. 5 goals from 5 different people.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, if Argentina wins this, does Messi win Golden Ball?
I feel like he just can't.
That's what I'm
Me being a Messi guy, he can't. There's no way.
Right. I mean, he's contributed to a couple of goals.
Yeah,
he hasn't scored
I will agree with you on how Argentina, compared to seeing them in the World Cup, seeing them in the Copa America, they've actually they're downplaying now. Yeah. I don't feel like they have this sort of oomph to really go for it.
They're kind of content with what they've done.
I feel like if they lose to Canada, they'll be fine. They'll be content on it.
Yeah.
I feel like Canada will definitely bring it to them. I just don't see Canada overtaking Argentina. Mm-hmm. So I will have Argentina moving on to the final. And like you said, Colombia has just been the best team in the Copa America right now. Facing Uruguay, obviously, is going to be a tough test. 2 big South American big dogs right there. But after watching that Uruguay-Brazil game, it was just literally I wanted to pull my hair out of my head. Who
would have predicted Brazil and Uruguay to be 0-0?
Exactly.
With all the offensive stars on the field in that game?
Oh, because Vinicius wasn't playing. Yeah, right. Yeah, Endrick, though. Oh, wait. 1 pass.
Dude, they need Neymar back.
Yeah, that's the thing. Brazil doesn't have that one guy that will actually I feel like they're all so timid to make a mistake. Everyone.
I feel like with Neymar playing the 10 with Vinny, Rodrigo, and Rafinha, he would make them look really good.
They make them look like fucking stars. Yeah. They just don't have that guy anymore.
They're playing Paquetá and Bruno Guimaraes and those aren't really playmakers like a Neymar would be.
Right. My final for the Copa America is going to be the semifinals, 2021 semifinals rematch of Colombia-Argentina, and I believe Colombia is out for blood. And if we do see Argentina in the finals, we remember that penalty matchup.
Score prediction?
If it's, I'm going to say 2-0 Colombia.
Now the final does go to extra time, unlike the quarters and the semis. Which goes straight to penalties. The final would go to extra time and then penalties.
And obviously, my Golden Ball, you can't it's really hard not to look at what James has been doing for Colombia,
so good,
and just not consider him probably the top for the Golden Ball right now. If their tournament would end right now, it'd be James taking it.
Go ahead.
He just does everything for the team. He's they were mentioning before. He's running less, but he's thinking more, and he's just
his playmaking has obviously been incredible with the goal and the 5 assists. His set pieces,
our Colombia's set pieces, I think is the most dangerous in the world right now. But if you really think about it,
the other thing too is he's putting in work on the defensive side, winning the ball back,
right?
And that's that sets the tone for.
If you see actually the midfield when he loses the ball, he'll go out of position just to put pressure on the ball, and that really sets a tone for a young Colombia side because we haven't really. This is a brand new fucking team.
Aside from him,
he's
a good leader.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the semifinal matchups and do a finals preview on our next episode, airing this Friday, July 12th.
We also have the semifinals at Euro 2024. Quick recap of the quarterfinal matchup. Spain defeated Germany. That was probably the best quarterfinal game if you think about it. Spain went up 1-0, but Florian Wirtz tied the game in the 89th minute, forcing extra time. In extra time, it was looking like it was going to go to penalties of the 1-1 score, but then Spain sub Mikel Merino had the game-winning header in the 119th minute.
You saw that header too. That header was beautiful.
He got up for it, side netting, good height, game-winning goal. I believe I saw it was like 20 or 30 years or something apart from his father scoring a game-winning goal for Spain.
And then he did
the same celebration. As
That's like the beauty of soccer, man. Like 30 years in between, and then you're scoring this game-winning goal just like your dad did 30 years prior in the same stadium. Yeah. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
I agree with you. Quick note for Spain, starting right back, Dani Carvajal was given his second yellow card, resulting in a red in the 126th minute, trying to stop a Germany counterattack in the closing seconds. That means he will miss the semifinal.
Well, actually, I do. When he got the first yellow, that was when he already missed it. He already had a yellow prior, so that was actually like a big, really nice, like high IQ play from him, knowing I'm already missing the next game. Might as well just stop this transition because I think it was like it was the last kick. Basically. They were on a counter, and he just kind of stopped it, and he already knew he was missing the next game, anyway. So he just went for it.
Can we just really quick talk about how dumb that yellow card accumulation
rule is? Stupid.
Like, why does that go into the semifinal?
It's dumb. Like, I don't understand it.
If you get 2 yellow cards within the first 5 games, you have to sit out a next game.
I understand. I kind of understand, like, maybe if they did, like, kind of tweak the rule and, like...
Group stage or something.
Or even 2 in 1 game.
No. Or,
like... 2 in 1 game is a red card.
No, anyway. Or if you, like, say you play the first game, you get a yellow card. Or, no, you play the first game, don't get a yellow card. Second game, you get a yellow. And then the third game, like, I'm saying, like, back-to-back. If you get back-to-back yellow cards, maybe, yes, miss that third game.
This is like... If Carvajal gets a yellow in the first game and then 4 games in between, then gets a yellow in the quarterfinal,
it's stupid.
Sit out.
That's so dumb.
And it's just 2, like, and a yellow card is really a ref's discretion too.
Right.
So it depends on the referee. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like there should be no suspensions after the group stage, or as you said,
or at least like wash it.
If there's 2 in the last 2 of the group stage in the round of 16, you serve your suspension. But like quarters, semis, and finals, like as fans, don't we want to see the best players on the field?
Imagine missing a final because of it.
Well, no. So I think they're clean.
No, after the semis.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But it's really a stupid rule. Anyways, moving on to the other quarterfinal matchups. After a 0-0, 120 minutes, France ended up defeating Portugal in penalty kicks to advance to the semifinal. Despite subbing off superstar captain Kylian Mbappe in extra time, I believe it was at halftime of the extra time, France made all 5 of their penalty kicks. Portugal's João Felix hit the post for Portugal to end their 2024 Euro run. Lewis has something to say about that.
To all Barca fans, I know João Felix. As his last Barca act, I knew he eliminated Ronaldo from that tournament. It was terrible. Honestly,
you can't miss this.
I was rooting for Portugal. I had Portugal make it to the semis. I was rooting for Portugal. But
it's good. Well,
I'm surprised Ronaldo just didn't cry after that loss, but he cried after a penalty.
It's because
the game wasn't finished.
It's because he made his shot. That's why he wasn't that disappointed.
That's true. All
right. The Netherlands on the other side of the bracket, they came from behind to beat Turkey 2-1.
Yep.
Turkey led 1-0 with a first half goal until 2 Dutch goals in the 70th and 76th minutes.
I think that last one was an own goal too.
It was. Cody Gakpo got to it, but they ended up giving an own goal
Mulder
to Mert Mulder.
Oh, Mulder.
If Gakpo had scored the goal, he would be in the Golden Boot lead with 4 goals, but they dropped him back down to 3, so he's tied with Jamal Musiala and Georgios Mikitadze of Georgia.
Ooh.
So that was, I said a couple weeks ago, he's going to win the Golden Boot, so who knows, he could win a share.
Thirds.
Yep. What a run for Turkey, though, man. I mean,
when we were, Zach and I actually watched the Austria-Turkey game
That was one of the best games I've ever seen.
It was, it was literally, technically one of the best. Like it was great ball. We were just so surprised how good Turkey looked.
Yeah.
They looked unreal.
I was really impressed with that kid, Arda Güler, the 19-year-old, number 10. He was like...
But Real will start Endrick over Arda, which I know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I was actually impressed with Mulder too.
Yeah.
I feel like Mulder on the outside, even though he did actually scored that own goal, but he was a threat out there. He was really good. He has a great touch.
And in the final quarterfinal matchup, England beat Switzerland in penalties. Brielle Mbolo scored for Switzerland in the 75th minute, but Bukayo Saka tied it up with an outside-of-the-box left-footed strike in the 80th, so a great answer for them. A little bit surprising because England really has had a hard time scoring goals in this tournament. England, as well as France, made all 5 of their penalties, including the no-look shot by Ivan Toney, and then also the game winner by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who, I don't know if you saw, was seen coming off and talking to his family after the game, and he's
someone didn't want to take it.
Yeah, he said under his hand, he's like, oh, he didn't want to take it. Some people were saying it was Phil Foden who wanted to be subbed off in overtime to not take the penalty, but we'll never know. Happy to see England make their penalties after being the subject of a lot of racist remarks after Saka and Rashford missed penalties at the last Euro. Another quick note for England, manager Gareth Southgate has signed a 2-year extension to stay on as England's manager, which will see him in charge at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. A lot of controversy about that. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. Euro 2020 finalists now taking England back to the semis, could take them to another final appearance.
At the same time, though, World Cup's 2 years away. You can't. It's like,
do you really want to change your coach?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have that much time.
Yeah, agreed. So with that, the semis are set. Spain faces France on Tuesday, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m., and the Netherlands take on England on Wednesday at 3 p.m. as well. The referee for the Netherlands-England match has previously served a match-fixing ban. An interesting thing I saw on Twitter today.
Wow.
Felix Zweyer will be the lead official. He was banned for 6 months back in 2005, so almost 20 years ago, after taking a $325 bribe. English star Jude Bellingham previously called him out for this after Dortmund lost the game to Bayern back in 2021 when Jude was playing for Dortmund. He was fined €40,000 for his comments. Zweyer did officiate in this tournament so far, and he ref the Netherlands 3-0 win over Romania in the round of 16 last week. So an interesting little tidbit there. Mm-hmm. The final set for Sunday, July 14th at 3 p.m., same day as the Copa final. Don't believe they're having a third-place game. Let's get our predictions for each semifinal. Let's do Spain and France first.
I mean, like you just previously said, France is boring. France can't score right now. They can't find anything. And well, my pick for the entire tournament was Spain, and Spain's been looking good. I think Spain takes this in just 90 minutes. I don't see this going into extra time at all.
1-0, 2-1.
If it's no, I think Spain will put a couple behind France. I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory here.
Okay. I'm going to say France beats Spain just because I have France winning in my Euro bracket. I just think Spain, kind of like Argentina, but they have the experience, winning a World Cup and then losing the World Cup final. They have a lot of the same cast of characters. I think defensively they've been so sound, even though they haven't looked the same on offense with Griezmann and Mbappe not really doing their thing. I think Saliba, the center back, has had a really, really solid tournament.
He is very,
as well as, I'm looking up his name right now, that's why I have my phone out, goalkeeper, Maignan.
Yeah.
He's looked really good. He's only allowed, maybe 2 goals this entire tournament. Netherlands was 0, Portugal was 0. Poland, he let up a penalty after saving the first one to Lewandowski, but he got a second chance at it. Mm-hmm. And then Austria 0, so he's only allowed 1 or 2 goals. I'm missing a game, but France-Belgium, did Belgium score? I don't think they did. No, it was 1-0. So he's only allowed 1 goal, and it was a penalty kick retry by Lewandowski. So having a great tournament as well. I think they'll do enough to get by Spain just due to experience. Yep. And Mbappe's due. So let's move to the other semifinal, England-Netherlands.
That's the exact same semifinals matchup that I have. I like the Netherlands. I have the Netherlands going on. I would probably say this is going to be a 1-score game, 1-0, 2-1, something. I feel like this might go into extra time. Yeah. Still not convinced on England. The Netherlands are just they just play as a team together.
I agree.
And I feel like England just has so much talent all around where it's like people just think, I have this, I'm him, let me take it, just give it off to the next guy. But Netherlands, I'm picking the Netherlands over England, 1-score game.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Netherlands will take this one. I think it'll be 1-0. By the way, I'm going to have France beating Spain 2-0. I didn't give my score, but I think Netherlands will beat England 1-0. Scoring the ball has been a problem, I think, for England, definitely. Netherlands kind of erupted with 3 against Romania, and then they had 2 in the second half against Turkey. But I think, like you said, they're a team. They have a lot of complementary pieces.
Yep.
A couple of good outside backs that can get up and down the field. Virgil in the middle, like in the center of the defense. I've been also impressed with one of their attacking center midfield players, Reinders. Dark hair.
Yeah.
Plays like the 10. He's made a couple like full field runs, can distribute well. And then Wout Weghorst off the bench is always a weapon. I think Netherlands will advance, and then we both have, it sounds like, well, you have Netherlands, Spain, and I have Netherlands, France. So who do you have winning
I have Spain winning it. I believe my score was 3-1.
Okay.
I have Spain winning the Euros.
And so I'll have France versus Netherlands, and I have France winning it all when we did our brackets, so I'll have France beating Netherlands, maybe on penalties, get their revenge from the FIFA World Cup. Who do you think? Go ahead.
Golden Boot, not too certain. I'm probably going to say Gakpo, just because I have him going to the final.
He's the only guy left.
I feel like he'll definitely he'll definitely get one by England. I'm not sure about the final. For Golden Ball, that's a tough one for me. Really there's been a lot of good players. I mean, around. I'm gonna shoot one. I'm gonna say Rodri on Spain. I feel like he's been he scored the game-winning goal, I believe, in the quarter, or a game-tying goal, I believe, in the quarters, or it could have been in the group stage. But I feel like overall he's been solid as the center defensive mid. He's also a co-captain. I feel like he's been playing very well, and he's really just solidifying that defensive midfielder role for Spain.
I'm going to say for Golden Ball, it'll have to be Cody Gakpo, because he's the only one in that tie of 3 goals that has a chance. With a game or 2 left, he can still score. And then so that's Golden Boot. Golden Ball, if I have France winning it, will probably be somebody for France, right?
I feel like if it was France,
maybe not.
I would say it's Saliba, dude, if it's anyone.
It could be, but my other pick was going to be...
you don't choose defensemen.
My other pick was going to be N'Golo Kante.
Conte's been playing out of his mind.
He's won a few man of the matches after the games, and has been like a staple in their midfield the whole tournament, so he could win it. But we'll talk about the semifinal matchups and do a finals preview on our next episode, which will air on Friday, July 12th.
There's still a lot of valuable pieces left on the market. The San Antonio Spurs traded Devontae Graham and a second-round pick to Charlotte, who ended up waiving Graham, and now he's allowed to sign with whoever he wants. The Washington Wizards declined the $11 million option for Landry Shamet. God damn it. So he's also a free agent, but he's ass. The Charlotte Hornets have waived former Oklahoma City Thunder first-round pick Alexei Pokusevski. All the Thunder's picks from 2014 to 2020 are now out of the league. So I'm glad that they have so many picks coming up.
And, well, they still have, they got, the 2 Jalen Williams and Lou Dort and a couple other young guys.
Notable free agents include Tyus Jones, Spencer Dinwiddie, Gordon Hayward, Luke Cornett, the fat ass himself.
Luke Kennard.
Sorry, Luke Kennard, and the fat ass himself, Kyle Lowry.
Caboose.
Absolute caboose.
Also, we've seen a lot of players moving around, a lot of players being waived, but let's move on to some coaching moving around the league. Golden State Warriors have added Terry Stotts and Jerry Stackhouse as assistant coaches. Stotts will be Steve Kerr's new lead assistant after the departure of Kenny Atkinson, who took over the Cleveland Cavaliers head coaching job. Stotts turned down an assistant coaching gig with the Lakers. Smart move. It's his 3rd time turning down the Lakers. Oh, my God. Come to Boston. Stotts was head coach of the Portland Trailblazers for 9 seasons. Stackhouse was head coach of Vanderbilt for 5.
Did Stackhouse got fired mid-season, right?
End of the season, but either way, he got fired. I know that.
Los Angeles Lakers have added former NBA head coaches Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks as top assistants for J.J. Redick's staff. He combined 31 seasons of head coaching experience. 59-year-old McMillan was fired by the Atlanta Hawks last season, helped the Hawks reach 2021 Eastern Conference Finals. He had a career 760 and 668 head coaching record for the Hawks, Pacers, Trailblazers, and the Supersonics. 58-year-old Brooks most recently served as an assistant for Chauncey Billups with the Trailblazers.
I forgot he was the head coach of the Blazers.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Billups. Previously a head coach for the Washington Wizards and Oklahoma City Thunder. Career record of 521, 414, and 49 and 48 in the playoffs. Lastly, former NBA veteran DeMar Carroll is joining the Cavs staff as an assistant. He played 11 seasons in the NBA, spent the past 2 seasons as an assistant with the Lakers and the Bucks. Wow, I did not know that.
I didn't either. All right, so now it's some time for random news in the sports world over the last week or so, starting with basketball. The 12-team Olympic men's basketball tournament is set after the Olympic qualifying tournaments have finished over the weekend. Group A is Australia, Greece, Canada, and Spain. Group B is France, Germany, Japan, and Brazil. And Group C is Serbia, South Sudan, Puerto Rico, and the USA.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad that Giannis knocked Luka out of this shit. So
I'm excited. My Greeks.
Hey man, I thought Luka was hurt.
Yeah,
Giannis and his father, Papa Giannis.
Yeah, dude. I love that.
Crazy.
When I saw that the other night, I was like, yo, I gotta say this.
And they also have Bobby's twin, Nick Kalafis, on Greece running the point. You know who that is? You do?
I saw the picture.
Too,
literally
You're gonna
like
laugh at this.
to a T.
Spitting image.
We'll put it up on the screen too. Holy shit!
Yeah, legit.
That's Bobby!
Yeah.
That's fucking Bobby!
Yeah.
We'll put a side by side right here. But holy shit!
Alright, keep going.
Good for you, man. Congrats on the Olympics.
When I was actually in Greece on my vacation in October, this is what I was doing actually.
Oh, makes sense.
Greece, Spain, Brazil, and Puerto Rico all won their respective qualifying tournaments to claim the final 4 spots. Giannis will be playing in his first Olympics. He led Greece to their first Olympics since 2008.
Who is that guy for Spain? Rudy Fernandez?
Yeah.
In his 6th Olympics?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yep,
he used to play he played like 15 years in the league.
Yeah,
Plays for Lewis's favorite team, Real Madrid.
He was a bucket. He almost beat us in the finals for the Redeem team. He dropped 30, bro. He had 8 threes. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't remember.
Watch the Redeem team on Netflix.
Good point. And then the other one was Jose Alvarado.
Yep.
Led Puerto Rico. So he'll be in it as well.
The top 2 teams from each group, plus best 2 third-place teams, advance to the quarterfinals, which that tournament starts on July 27th. We will be doing a full preview of that and who's playing for what teams, interesting matchups, and predictions when we get closer. In NBA, 4-time NBA All-Star National Championship with UConn, Kemba Walker has retired. From basketball, he led UConn to a national championship in 2011, earned the tournament's most outstanding player, led UConn to 5 wins in 5 days in the Big East tournament.
That was when he had
the step back, against Brad Wanamaker.
Oh, was it?
That wasn't against on him, but Brad Wanamaker was on.
Mm-hmm. Cardiac Kemba.
That's right.
Honest question though, do you think Kemba is Hall of Fame?
Probably not.
I think I asked you that last week or something.
I'd say probably not.
I would say no.
Because he's the most outstanding player in won a national championship.
Maybe like a
It's the National Basketball Hall of Fame. You get college.
I wouldn't say
in it,
an NBA Hall of Famer.
I wouldn't say NBA Hall of Famer.
No,
definitely.
but it's basketball, so it's everything.
I'd say a UConn Hall of Famer
Yeah.
and Charlotte Hornets Hall of. You know how teams do
Yeah.
their own thing.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't say a Naismith Hall of Famer. Love Kemba.
Yeah, no, me too. The 34-year-old was the ninth pick in the 2011 NBA draft by the Charlotte Bobcats at the time. The Charlotte Hornets, all-time franchise leader in points, threes, and minutes played. Made 3 All-Star teams while with the Hornets and was named to an All-NBA third team in 2018-2019 after averaging over 25 points.
I'm
he
pretty sure
came
that.
to the Celtics and wanted to get hurt.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're pretty sure what?
I'm pretty sure that year was when he actually led the Hornets to their first playoff berth
Yeah, I think
in a
so.
while, and then they got swept by
Yeah.
LeBron James and the Heat.
He ended up joining the Boston Celtics in a sign and trade deal over the following summer. He made another All-Star team in his first year with the Celtics, but then the injuries started piling up. Spent time with the Knicks, Pistons, and Mavs, but was bought out and or waived several times. Spent last season playing sparingly with AS Monaco in the French League. Will join the Hornets as a player enhancement coach next season under former Celtics assistant and now head coach of the Hornets, Jesus Christ, Charles Lee.
Correct.
Also in the NBA, Klay Thompson's father, former LA Laker star Michael Thompson, is not happy that his son is joining the Dallas Mavericks, but it ain't about him. He said that he was not in a congratulatory mood on a radio show last week and also said he is hoping and praying Klay would be a Laker. Lakers were intrigued to Klay, but a big factor in his decision were the financial savings from living in Texas rather than California, as well as the Mavericks being a title contender in 2024. Michael won 2 NBA championships with the Lakers and played with them from 1987 to 1991.
Well, so that's why he's in a bad mood about it. But if I was Clay, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Dad. I got 4 rings. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to the WNBA now. Rookie sensations Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever and Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky were both named to the 12-player WNBA All-Star team. They will take on the Team USA women's basketball squad on July 20th for the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game in Phoenix. Clark and Reese are the only first-time All-Stars in the group. Clark was Rookie of the Month in May, and Reese was Rookie of the Month in June. 9-time All-Star Nneka Ogwumike of the Seattle Storm, 6-time All-Star Dewana Bonner, and Brianna Jones of the Connecticut Sun.
I know for a fact.
Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream, De'Erica Hamby of the Los Angeles Sparks, Arika Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings, Kayla McBride of the Minnesota Lynx, and Jonquel Jones. Did I say that right? Cool. Of the New York Liberty also made it for Team WNBA. Fever had the most selections of any team with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell joining Clark on the team. Clark and Boston received the most fan votes. Clark the most with over 700,000 votes. Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart followed, but both will be playing for Team USA. I saw something.
Yeah, I was just about to say
I
that
saw something last year. The highest person to get votes. It was Asia Wilson with 95,000 votes.
And this year,
Caitlin Clark is over 700,000.
Yeah.
what do you call it, Lou?
Oh, but they're here for Angel Reese.
No. What do you call it? The Caitlin Clark effect.
No, the Angel Reese effect.
Fuck you.
No,
Honestly,
it's the Caitlin Clark effect, and no one can ever say otherwise because that's an insane number. Like, you're having people take time out of the day just to vote for WNBA. We used to be like, fuck that.
Yeah. A
Like,
lot of
literally.
people would laugh at that.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
betting on it.
Now it's like, yeah, now we're watching Caitlin Clark fucking ball, and it's because of her. Also in women's hoops, the WNBA recorded its largest crowd at a game since 1999, since your boy was born, last week in a game between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. Game had to be moved to T-Mobile Arena, home of the Vegas Golden Knights, as many know. Crowd was over 20,000 fans. 5th largest WNBA crowd all time and largest since the 1999 season. Kelsey Plum had a season-high 34 points to lead the Aces to an 88-69 win. Game featured 5 former number 1 WNBA draft picks.
Can you name them?
Caitlin
Kelsey
Clark.
Plum, Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark. I don't know the last one. Brianna Stewart? She wasn't on there. She wasn't on the team. I don't know who the last one is.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Who's the last one?
Chelsea Gray, I believe.
Oh, okay.
She's gross.
In other news over the weekend, also, Caitlin Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double. Finally! I feel like she's been flirting with this over like the past month or so now. She's also
have to tell me about that. We'll get to
that. My God! I totally forgot about that. Did you know? Oh,
no.
We'll figure it. Whatever. She's also the first player in Indiana Fever history with a triple-double. Fever upset the 17-4 New York Liberty 83-78. Clark finished the night with 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 boards. Fever overcame a double-digit fourth-quarter deficit. Nice. Other rookie sensation, Angel Reese has broken the WNBA double-double record in a loss on Sunday. She recorded her 13th straight double-double, a new league record. I believe it's to start your career, like most double-doubles to begin.
No, most consecutive double-doubles.
Oh, okay.
So she had 13 in a row.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would have 13 in a row, too, if I shot like her in the paint.
She posted 17 points and 14 rebounds in an 84-71 loss to the Seattle Storm.
Can you do that again, Bill?
That's 5 boards right there. So think about that. Broke Candace Parker's 15-year-old record. She has 14 double-doubles this season, and the rookie record is 22. So it looks like she's close to breaking that.
Let's move it over to the gridiron. We got the NFL season starting in less than 2 months, but unfortunately we have some sad news to report from over the weekend. The 2024 fourth-round pick made by the Minnesota Vikings, Kyrie Jackson, he unfortunately died in a car accident over the weekend. We'll give him a moment of silence. Thank you. Just very sad that stuff like this continues to happen. It was a 3-car crash. Somebody was switching lanes and then knocked him, and then they drove into a tree. He wasn't the one driving, but the 3 who were former Division I college players and high school teammates of him all died. 2 of them on impact, and the other on the way to the hospital or something. He played at Alabama and Oregon. Cornerback, was 24 years old, set to be a rookie with the Vikings. As I said, among 3 people killed in a 3-car accident. The other people in the 2 other cars survived. Some better news. The New England Patriots have given a 3-year contract extension to linebacker Jelani Tavai, a key piece to one of the NFL's top defenses. Had the second most tackles on the team last year with 107, tied with Kyle Duggar. He has a base value of $15 million, but the contract can be worth up to $21 million if he reaches some incentives. The Patriots, who had $85 million in cap space prior to this offseason, still have about $40 million remaining, so can we get a couple ballers before the season starts, please?
Something's going to happen.
Can we get a receiver, please?
Well, I mean, they have they re-signed Hunter Henry, re-signed Kendrick Bourne. They have
I
Pop
don't
Douglas.
care. None of those are superstars. I need a superstar.
They drafted Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, I believe, in the second round.
Javon Baker hasn't done anything in OTAs yet.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Former San Francisco 49ers defensive back Tayshaun Gibson has been suspended by the league for 6 games for violating the league's performance-enhancing substance policy. He started 16 games and had 60 tackles last year with 1 interception. He made 5 tackles in last year's Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, and before that he had 5 picks in the 2022 season. He is currently a free agent, turns 34 in August. Lastly, with NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers DB Cameron Sutton has been suspended 8 games. That just came out a couple hours before I came over here for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. A domestic battery charge came in March. He was a signing for them this offseason. Let's switch over to hockey. The Seattle Kraken have made history. They've hired Jessica Campbell, who becomes the first female assistant coach in NHL history. Pretty good press there for the Kraken. She was previously the first female AHL assistant with their Seattle's affiliate. Listen to this name, the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Excuse me?
The Coachella Valley Firebirds. She was hired with them back in 2022. coached their forwards and power play unit, helped the team reach 2 Calder Cup finals in a row. They unfortunately lost both to another great name, the Hershey Bears.
Out of Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yep, former rival of the Manchester Monarchs, our beloved. The Kraken hired former Firebirds head coach Dan Bylsma in May, so that's where the connection is with Jessica Campbell and the Kraken. Campbell played 4 seasons of college hockey at Cornell, where she was captain as a senior. She then played professionally in Sweden and Canada for 4 years. The Kraken also reached a deal with former Florida Panthers defenseman and Stanley Cup champion Brandon Montour. It's a 7-year, $7.14 annual average deal. The Kraken also brought in former Golden Knights center Chandler Stevenson to a 7-year, $6.25 million annual average contract. Some signings for the Detroit Red Wings. They've signed now 2-time Stanley Cup champion Vladimir Tarasenko to a 2-year deal with $4.75 million annually. The 32-year-old winger scored 5 goals and had 9 points in 24 playoff games with the Panthers during their Stanley Cup championship run. The Red Wings also re-signed Patrick Quinn, the legend, to a 1-year deal.
I honestly had no idea he was on that team.
Patrick Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got traded
last year,
I believe, to the Rangers or signed or something. He went to the Rangers and then the Red Wings. So.
All right. So now we're going to the Diamond.
Yes, sir.
Finally, we've reached the midway point of the season. The MLB All-Star teams have been announcannounced for the 2024 All-Star Game. The 94th Midsummer Classic will take place Tuesday, July 16th at 8 p.m. from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, home of the Texas Rangers. The Philadelphia Phillies led the league with 7 All-Star selections. 13 players have received their 3rd All-Star selection. Mookie Betts receiving his 8th straight All-Star selection, most among active players. There are 32 first-time All-Stars.
That's
Did I read
great.
that wrong?
Yes. No, you read
No, I read it
it
right.
Pretty
I thought you
crazy.
meant the first time. Yeah, there's 32 first-time All-Stars, one being rookie Paul Skeens, who becomes the first player to be selected first overall in the draft and then make the All-Star team the very next season.
That man
Is nasty.
he's a baller.
That man's nasty, but he's also, what a time, dating Libby Dunn, ace for the Pirates, number 1 overall draft pick, and now you're an All-Star.
In your first season.
I don't think you could be doing it better than Paul Skeens.
I mean, after seeing a picture with her and Jake Paul,
Oh, I saw
at
that.
that party, you had to perform
Yeah.
the next game.
You're right.
Had to.
Yep.
It was. The American League starters. At catcher, they have Adley Rutschman from the Baltimore Orioles. At first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from Toronto. Second base, Jose Altuve from Houston. Third base, Jose Ramirez from Cleveland. At shortstop, they have Gunnar Henderson from Baltimore. In the outfield, they have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto of the New York Yankees, Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians, and at DH, they have Yordan Alvarez from Houston. Aaron Judge was the top vote getter and leads the league with 32 home runs and 83 RBIs. Now, going over to the National League side, at catcher, they have William Contreras from the Milwaukee Brewers. At first base, Bryce Harper from the Phillies. Second base, Ketel Marte from Arizona Diamondbacks. At third base, Alec Boehm from the Phillies. Shortstop, Trey Turner from the Phillies. Outfield consists of Jurickson Profar of the San Diego Padres, Fernando Tatis of the San Diego Padres, and Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers. And at DH, they have Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers. Harper led the NL in voting, but is questionable to start with a hamstring injury.
Tatis is also not going to be playing. He's out until August.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he would have been the first All-Star starter to make it as both outfielder and shortstop, but now he won't be starting because of the injury. I don't know what it is exactly.
Jurickson Profar is the fourth most experienced player to make his first All-Star team. He's played 11 seasons in the MLB.
That's good for him.
Yeah. So I won't get into all the starters or all the pitching or the reserves, but I'll give you guys like the best players in my opinion. Logan Garrett from Seattle, he's been playing outrageous. Corbin Burns from Baltimore, Emmanuel Clase from the Guardians, Garrett Crochet, the lone Chicago White Sox. He's actually been playing unreal this year as well. Taylor Houck of the Boston Red Sox, had to say him, of course.
Tariq Skubal.
Yeah, I was going to say Tariq Skubal, who's in the Cy Young consideration. Now in the NL, they have Glasnow from the Dodgers, Ryan Hensley of the Cardinals, Shota Imanaga. Dude, there's so many good pitchers in the NL. It's insane. Ronaldo Lopez, Chris Sale, Tanner Scott, Skeens, Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, Robert Suarez. The NL has great pitching.
Yeah.
Now, for the American League reserves, we have Salvador Perez, Carlos Correa, Rafi Big Sticks, Josh Naylor, Isaac Paredes, Marcus Semien, Bobby Witt Jr., who was in the Home Run Derby, Jarren Duran, Riley Green, Kyle Tucker, and David Fry. And the NL reserves are Will Smith, C.J. Abrams, Pete Alonso, Luis Arias, Mookie Betts, Ellie De La Cruz, Freddie Freeman, Ryan McMahon. Wow, I just fucked that one up. Teoscar Hernandez, Jackson Merrill, Elliot Ramos, Brian Reynolds, and Marcell Ozuna, who's also in the Home Run Derby.
Yeah. Oh, he is?
Yes, he announced that.
Today?
Okay, I saw it on my way home.
You can add him to that next bullet.
Yeah. The 2024 Home Run Derby will take place Monday, July 15th at 8 p.m. In my opinion, one of the most electric things ever.
Now that they changed it up too,
it's still technically the same. It's just
it's a little bit different. But the fact that it's not head to head in a bracket, you just
I like
have
that.
And also, I think the All-Star game is really fun too.
Yeah, I just don't think the All-Star game gets that much attention anymore like it used to.
I like it.
I like it too. But the Home Run Derby will consist of Pete Alonso, Bobby Witt Jr., Alec Bohm, Gunnar Henderson, and Marcell Ozuna. Pete Alonso is seeking his third Home Run Derby crown in his fifth straight appearance.
All right, that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
I guess we can do Home Run Derby predictions on the next podcast if you guys want.
If I'm down.
Yeah.
Marcell Ozuna, locked in.
Okay. Early prediction. We'll get the DraftKings odds up too. We'll see who's favored.
I'll throw
also in baseball, Miami Marlins, who are 32-58, as we like to call it here on the Wash Up Sports Podcast.
Dog shit.
A dumpster fire. Sitting last place in the NL East standings. They've designated former All-Star shortstop Tim Anderson. They've designated him for assignment.
Yeah, what happened to him, dude? He used to be so nasty.
He fell off ever since he got that right hook from Jose Ramirez, was it?
Yeah. Like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, he's been on the downhill slope since then. He's hitting just .214 this season in 234 at-bats with just 3 extra base hits. He spent the previous 8 seasons with another dumpster fire, the Chicago White Sox, where he batted over 300 in 4 straight years, so really fell off with the Marlins. The Milwaukee Brewers have acquired right-handed pitcher Aaron Savale from the Tampa Bay Rays. The Brewers are currently first place in the NL Central by 5 games. The Rays received infield prospect Gregory Barrios. In the deal, 29-year-old Savale joins a banged-up Brewers starting rotation. He has a 5.17 ERA and 27 starts for the Rays, so not great, but a fresh start for him, and the Brewers need to bolster their starting rotation. Another great outing, pains Bobby to hear, but another great outing for 35-year-old lefty Chris Sale last week.
My stepdad and I were talking about it, and I was like, wow, why does it have to be now where he just is nasty again?
Yeah. Well, Chris Sale had 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, allowed 1 earned run against the San Francisco Giants. He recorded his MLB best 11th win in the game. He has an 11-3 record with a 2.71 ERA this season. New York Yankees rookie Ben Rice giving the Yankees about their only source of happiness in the month of June/early July. They're on a massive skid. I believe they've lost 6 of 22. And the Red Sox have won 16 of 22, something along those lines. Anyway, Yankees rookie Ben Rice out of Dartmouth in our Granite State slugged 3 home runs in Saturday's 14-4 win over the Boston Red Sox. In doing so, he became the first Yankees rookie in franchise history to have 3 home runs in a game. However, the Red Sox, as it pains me to say, won the series last night after a 2-home run performance by Rafael Devers and 7 shutout innings from Cutter Crawford. By the way, how the fuck did he pull the ball that was like a foot outside the strike zone, 420 feet to right center? Can you tell me?
Someone said that you couldn't even hit that on MLB The Show.
No, I don't think you could.
No, you can't.
I mean, like that. I couldn't have that in a Little League park. I mean, he pulled it 423 feet. And the last thing in the MLB, some pretty comical news for you guys. I thought you guys would like this. The Chicago Cubs placed right-handed pitcher Colton Brewer on the 60-day IL. You guys are probably wondering, who the hell is that? He broke his left hand punching the dugout wall. He was pulled after allowing 3 runs, which one of them was earned, on 2 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter in 2/3 of an inning. During a relief appearance, the Cubs ended up losing 7-0 to the Angels.
I'm sorry, but your team needs you, and you're going to go ahead and punch a cement wall.
Hey, he's a right-handed pitcher. He punched with his left hand. Maybe he was thinking, I don't need my glove hand as a pitcher. I don't know.
It's just so stupid.
How's Grimace in the Mets doing? All right, some news in college sports. First, let's start off with men's hoop. Dan Hurley has just signed a 6-year, $60 million contract extension to stay at UConn.
Fuck you, Lakers!
Yep. Back-to-back national champions. He declined the Lakers head coaching job this past summer. Not this past summer, about a few weeks ago. Yeah. Former NBA and NCAA champion guard Mario Chalmers, who was most notably played for the Miami Heat and the Kansas Jayhawks, along with several other former players, have sued the NCAA and several conferences for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness in March Madness highlights. As you guys know, Mario Chalmers did have that big Final Four 3 to help them move on to the national championship.
It was in the national championship. The 3
was it?
Tied it, sent it to OT against Memphis, coached by John Calipari.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose on the team.
Yeah.
Went to overtime. Kansas won overtime.
Other players include Sharon Collins of Kansas, Ryan Boatwright of UConn, and Jason Terry of Arizona.
Jason Terry, like the Jet Jason Terry?
Jason Terry, the Jet, baby. The class action lawsuit filed last week in a New York district court also involves the Big East, Pac-12, Big Ten, Big 12, ACC, SEC, and Turner Sports. The players said that they have been paid nothing by the NCAA or Turner Sports for the use of their highlights, name, and image in past tournaments to promote and monetize this year's March Madness. Also said the NCAA takes advantage of student athletes and makes them uncompensated lifetime workers. Earlier this year, the 1983 national championship winning team, NC State team, sued the NCAA for violating their name and image and likeness for using old footage of their championship win. A settlement is already in the works that will pay out $2.7 billion to former athletes over the next decade.
Wow. Maybe I can get a little bit of that.
Seriously. In college football now.
God, I've seen what you've done for others.
Yeah.
In college football now, Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon II was arrested last week on a suspicion of a DUI. He was pulled over in the Oklahoma City area, swerving into the other lane twice. He was also caught speeding at 82 miles an hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. Trooper detected the smell of alcohol in the vehicle. Gordon admitted to having half-open bottles of tequila and vodka. He refused a sobriety test, but later registered a .11 blood alcohol level, which is over the .08 legal limit. And usually when you refuse a sobriety test, you're automatically arrested either way.
It just gives you more time to sober up.
And he didn't sober up.
But I mean, he still took a test. If you refuse it, you should have not taken the test either way, but whatever. Gordon won the Doak Walker Award last season as the nation's top running back. He led the nation with 1,732 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns. He was voted as the Big 12 preseason player of the year ahead of the season. Utah State has informed head football coach Blake Anderson of their intent to fire him. He was investigated for sexual misconduct, including domestic violence stemming from actions in the spring of 2023. Utah State trying to fire him without paying the remainder of his contract for violating terms of his agreement. 55-year-old Anderson was 23-17 in 3 seasons with Utah State, but lost the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and went 6-7 in the last 2 seasons. His wife died of cancer in 2019. His son committed suicide in 2022. Wow. So bad. I'm sorry for him. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
I don't know what it was he did exactly, but it said domestic sexual assault, misconduct, stuff like that. So.
Whatever that means. So here's some other random headlines that are out in the news world, or the sports world. In golf, 25-year-old Davis Thompson won the John Deere Classic this past Sunday. Tournament record 28 under for the weekend and won by 4 strokes. First PGA Tour win for Thompson in his 63rd career start.
I believe he shot the first day too. Didn't he? He shot a
59. I think
he shot a 58. He shot a 58, which was what, like a -14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something like that is, in boxing, the World Boxing Council has expelled star Ryan Garcia after repeatedly using racial slurs against black people and Muslims while live streaming. Which doesn't fucking surprise me. This kid's a fucking lunatic. Garcia later tweeted that he was trolling and wants killing to stop. Said he loves everyone and is sorry if it offended anyone. Currently serving a 1-year suspension for testing positive for PEDs. Looks like he ain't doing shit anytime soon.
Yep.
Also in boxing, 2 former UFC stars look to take the ring over the weekend. Nate Diaz got his revenge on Jorge Masvidal by majority decision after a 10-round match. Masvidal previously beat Diaz by TKO in the 2019 BMF title fight. Masvidal is 39 and retired from the UFC. Diaz is 39 and says he wants another UFC belt. But he ain't. I don't think he's going to get that.
All right, well, let's move over to the National Eating League, baby. As we know, it was the 4th of July, so the 2024 Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest was last week. Patrick Bertoletti, the number 9 eater in the world, won the contest after eating 58 dogs and buns to win the men's division for the first time. As we know, Joey Chestnut was banned for the competition.
A week ago, Joey Chestnut ate 52 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
And
5 minutes?
I believe if you took the last 10 years, Joey Chestnut winning them all, the least amount he's eaten in those 10 minutes, it's like 62.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy doesn't even come close to of what our Joey Chestnut does.
Sorry, Pat, but
hey, Joey Chestnut also accepted the challenge from Buffalo Wild
eating
Wings.
200
boneless wings
Today. I don't know if it happened.
I think it was tonight at 5. I think it was at 5.
Over-under's 199.5 on that one. I'm hammering the over.
Yeah, me too.
If I can fucking put down 40, he can put down 20.
Yeah.
200, I mean.
Yeah.
Mickey Sudo set a new world record in the women's division by eating 51 hot dogs and buns to retain her title. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Sudo has won every year since 2014 except 2021 when she sat out during pregnancy, which I feel like that would have been, she would have eaten like 100. She would have probably broken Joey Chestnut's record maybe.
That's a dynasty right there.
Yeah. The winners received the coveted mustard belt along with $20,000. Also at the event, which was now, since it's not the hot dog eating contest, my boy Eric Badlands Booker setting a new world record drinking a gallon of lemonade in 21 seconds.
That was so insane.
21 seconds. Please, if you haven't watched it, just take 21 seconds of your time and watch it. It's insane.
2, 1, go! The kid, are we open? Badlands in a zone here. I don't know it's like a wave machine. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, Badlands Booker, a new world record. 21 seconds, a new world record.
And better yet, take 10 seconds to watch the clip of the guy next to him throwing up like 8
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
afterwards.
I don't know if you watch the video, you hear the crowd every time he pukes. Oh! It was awesome. It was awesome.
Literally hilarious.
All right.
I was not trying to
Also
say
in
that.
random news, we have the Wimbledon. The Wimbledon men's and women's have been going on. The quarterfinals are now set. featuring defending champion Carlos Alcaraz, world number 1 Jannik Sinner, 7-time winner Novak Djokovic, and 2 Americans in Tommy Paul and Taylor Fritz. On the women's side, American and number 19 ranked Emma Navarro upset number 2 Coco Gauff and is now the only American remaining in the tournament. Just 2 top 10 seeds are remaining.
So they're both in the quarterfinals now. So.
No.
Not gonna lie.
She also defeated Coco in straight sets. Lastly, to finish off the random news, in track, Ukraine's Yaroslava Mahukic set a new world record in the women's high jump on Saturday. She cleared 2.10 meters, which is 6.89 feet, at the Paris Diamond League to break a mark that has stood since 1987. Girls got some bunnies. All right, well, before we start, we end the episode. As we remember, last month, Bobby did lose for the 3rd time. And it's punishment time. My favorite time of the month.
The best 2 words in sports. Punishment time.
And his punishment, he's got to eat 2 slices of bread soaked in water. We have our water here. We have our bread here.
Yes, we do.
And I'm just gonna do the honors, and I'm just gonna
Oh, that's not working.
without making a mess.
That's oh Jesus.
We're just gonna
Soak that bread up,
soak
baby.
it up.
Can you move that plate over a little bit, please, to the left? Yep. Perfect.
As you guys can see, it's doused.
Sopping, if you will.
Yeah, Bill. I hope you're hungry. Good luck to you.
Rev up those fryers. No, I'll be fine.
I don't know about that, man. We might have to bring over the garbage.
No, I'll be fine.
No, we might have to bring. You can leave it over there. I don't want any puke coming over here for me. Oh. Okay, Bobby's just going right into it.
Is that Joey Chestnut?
Oh, I'm getting sick fucking looking at this, dude. How is it?
It's great.
You're lying. You're lying through your
Bobby,
fucking teeth right now.
It's not that bad because
Oh my god.
I see this water.
I know.
I can't.
Oh my god, that looks gross.
That water's white, bro.
Oh, I see it from here.
Can you drink the water?
no.
Oh,
That was not part of it. It was eat the bread.
You're right.
Suck the bread.
Oh, what do you got? One
No, you can't wring it out. It's got to be
You
soaked.
fucking rang it out.
Just fucking-
Give that last piece a good dunk in there for us.
This thing is sopping wet.
Give
Give it a Dunkin'. You just squeezed out all of it.
Give it a little dunk.
Oh, you got it on the leg,
It's nasty.
I can't fucking. That's disgusting, dude.
That's actually disgusting. Can we leave that plate there for the rest of the episode? Oof.
Well, my wish has been done. I'm not fucking. You can do that, dude. Bathroom's over there. I'm not touching that.
That's disgusting.
Honestly, that was more of a punishment for us.
Yeah, that was honestly disgusting.
All right. Well, that was horrific. Didn't seem like it on me and on my face, to be honest. But yeah, that was fucking disgusting. Anyways, so
rate that compared to your previous 2 punishments. Was that better, worse?
what was last?
Getting your chest hair
so,
waxed
yeah, that, and then what was last?
The other one was eating raw egg, drinking raw egg.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. I'd probably say this to me is probably second. I'd probably say first. Getting my chest waxed. That shit was fucking. Actually, no, dude. This was first.
Just
I
give
said
it.
eggs are second. I said
Just give it like 20 minutes, and I bet you he'll be finding the toilet soon.
Like, bread is the worst one?
Yeah,
Oof.
but it kind of reminds me of French onion soup.
What the fuck is
alright,
wrong with you?
Because there's bread in it.
Like, I just poured myself a glass of water. I don't know if I can drink any more of that after seeing what I just saw.
I just saw him wring it out like a fucking towel. And just...
Well, let's get to some washed up wagers, shall we?
So, here's a recap from last episode. I start the month 2-1 in first place. My wins were the Tampa Bay Rays, who beat the Kansas City Royals last Tuesday, 5-1, and the Netherlands, who beat Romania in the Euro round of 16, 3-0. My loss was Paraguay, who lost 2-1 to Costa Rica in the final Copa America group stage game. Lewis starts the month 1-2 in second place. Excuse me. Wins both. His win was both teams to score in the Brazil-Colombia game, which ended up being 1-1. His losses were the New York Yankees, who lost to the Cincinnati Reds last Tuesday, 5-4, and Austria, who lost to Turkey in the Euro round of 16, 2-1. Zach starts the month 0-3 and is in last place. His losses was Austria over 1.5 goals versus Turkey, which they ended with 1. Under half a goal in the first half of the Paraguay versus Costa Rica game, where 2 goals were scored in the first 7 minutes.
That is dungeon.
Yeah. And Caitlin Clark over 30.5 points, rebounds, assists. She ended up with 30.
We'll have you know that going into the fourth quarter,
We watched it live.
yeah, Zach and I watched it live, and Caitlin Clark had 27
Yeah.
going into the fourth, and
She needed 4.
She needed 4.
Points, rebounds.
Did not have any points in the fourth. I believe only picked up 3 assists. That's 30.
And are we not going to mention the teammates missing the wide open layups 3 times?
Yep. 3
Literally
times.
wide open layups.
Yeah.
Clanged off the backboard.
That's awful.
And also them running the ball out at the end of the
dribbled
game.
out the clock on the last possession.
They're losing.
Really, the dagger in the heart.
That's
Yeah.
awful. Pet is 0-0 since we didn't get his picks from last episode. He will be doing 6 picks this week to catch up, 3 for Tuesday and 3 for Wednesday. So here are our 3 picks for this week's slate, July 8th and 9th. I have France moneyline versus Spain, which is plus 200. Argentina moneyline versus Canada, which is minus 280.
Those are both in 90 minutes, right?
Yes.
In the regulation. Okay.
And Texas Rangers moneyline versus the Angels, which is minus 170. It is plus 540, $10 for 64.66.
You're right over there, Bill. You're not looking too good.
Really? I feel funky.
Before I give my picks, I'll do Pat's Tuesday picks first, and then I'll do his Wednesday picks. So for Tuesday, he has Lionel Messi, anytime goal scorer in the Argentina-Canada game. He has Carlos Alcaraz money line against Tommy Paul, and he has Antoine Griezmann, anytime goal scorer in the Spain-France semifinal match. That 3 pick is a plus 1050. $10 wins you $115.
Wow.
For his Wednesday slate, he has. He has under 2.5 total goals in the Netherlands-England game. He has both teams to score in the Colombia-Uruguay semifinal match. And he has Novak Djokovic money line against Alex de Minaur. And that is plus 300, $10 wins you $40.01. Now, for my picks.
Sorry, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Now, for my 3 picks, I have Colombia to qualify, so I just have them winning out. Doesn't matter, extra time, penalties, whatever. I have both teams to score in the Spain-France game. As I predicted earlier, I said that game would be 3-1 Spain. And then I have the Phillies money line against the Dodgers. And that all brings it up to plus 550, $10 wins me $65.07.
Swap to me real quick. You don't even have to move the camera, just make sure I'm in it.
All right. Now, if you want 3 winning picks, you'll listen to me.
No,
Even
not from
though
last week.
I went 0-3. That was literally the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, and Lewis is my witness. But 3-0, perfect card. We're gonna get back on track, and we're gonna get to 500. We got France to advance to the Euro final against Spain. Win in regulation, win in extra time, win in penalties. Does not matter. I got France moving on.
I don't give a shit.
Under 1.5 England team total.
They are not scoring more than 1 goal in that 90 minutes because they haven't all fucking tournament. And if they do, that's just,
blasphemy.
Blasphemy. And my third pick, James Rodriguez, the superstar of Copa America 2024. Bobby thought his name was James, but it's James Rodriguez. I have him to score or give an assist at plus 175 odds in the semifinal on Wednesday against Uruguay. Those three together are a plus 639, $10 to win $73.95. Bing, bang, bong. We're going 3-0.
All right, so thank you guys for joining us for episode 23 of the Wash Up Sports Podcast. We release new episodes on YouTube and Spotify every Tuesday and Friday. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Our usernames for those can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay washed.